In our last video we looked at sending a bulk email campaign. In this video we're going to look at analysing the results of that campaign. There are two ways to get into that part of the system. We can either click on Analyse from the toolbar, or we can click on the Analyse Your Results icon. I'm going to click on the icon. This gives us a quick graphical overview of how the campaign progressed. So we can see that 3 people were sent the campaign, 33% opened, 33% clicked through and 33% unsubscribed. If you want to see one of your previous campaigns, you can use the arrows either side of the campaign to scroll through them. I want to see the most recent one, so I'm going to deal with this. To do that, you click on Detailed Statistics for this campaign. You can see in the top right hand corner we have a very similar graphical representation to the last screen, but scrolling down we can see a lot more detail. So again, 3 people were sent the campaign with a 100% delivery rate with a 0% bounce rate. Now bounces are something we do need to look at in a little more detail. So we can click on the rate and that will tell us how many of the emails were a hard bounce and how many were a soft bounce. Now as it states here, hard bounces are permanent delivery issues. That would be things like an invalid domain name or an invalid email address. Obviously that's a permanent delivery issue, so eMessenger won't attempt to send that again. A soft bounce is a temporary delivery issue, so that would be things like recipient's mailbox full. If an email is returned as a soft bounce, eMessenger will try up to 3 times, and if it's still unsuccessful, it will then convert to a hard bounce. We can also see that 33% opened the email. Now clicking on this will actually give us a lot more detail than that. So we're going to click in it and we can see that there are 2 links. One for view all subscribers who have opened this campaign, and the second one is view all subscribers who haven't opened this campaign. Clicking on the opened, we can see that Mark Anderson opened this email and he opened it at 9:30 AM. Let's go back to our main report. And we're going to look at who didn't open it by clicking on the link. Now we can see here that Derek and Ewan did not open the campaign. The next one is the click-through rate. Now the click-through rate is the number of subscribers who have opened your email and clicked on one of the links. Clicking on in a little more detail will give you a little more information. So we count the first click by each unique recipient on a link. So if someone clicks 3 different links, that counts as 3 clicks. If they click the same link twice, that counts as 1 click. For a detailed breakdown of click activity, see the click report at the bottom of the screen. We're going to look at that in a little more detail in a second. Another very powerful tool in eMessenger is the goal tracking. You can set up your emails so that it tracks goals. For instance, if there is a buy now option on your email, clicking on that and then buying something successfully would go towards the goal target. We didn't set one, so there is no goals to reach. eMessenger also tracks how many people clicked the send this email to a friend link. No one in this campaign has done it, therefore the number is obviously 0. We also have the unsubscribe rate. Clicking on this will tell you which of your subscribers have removed themselves from your campaign. To do that, you just click on the link which says view the recipients who unsubscribed. And we can see that it was Derek. Now, if you think back a few minutes ago, you may have noticed that Derek didn't actually open the email, but he has managed to unsubscribe. That tells us that there is a very important thing to notice with eMessenger. There is a distinct difference between a subscriber opening an email and reading an email. Derek must have read this email through a quick viewer, so he didn't actually double click to open it, but he has clicked on one of the links, and the link that he picked was unsubscribe. If any of your subscribers mark the email as spam, that goes down as a complaint. We have a 0% complaint rate, so Derek must have just hit unsubscribe but not marked it as spam. Scrolling down slightly, we can also see a lot more detail. We can see the campaign views over the first 24 hours of the campaign. So we can see that one person opened the email at 5 p.m. and someone else opened the email at 9 a.m. Now that may have been the same person, because as we noticed before, only one person has opened the email, so presumably he's opened it twice. Scrolling down further, we can see a lot more information. We had a number of links in our email. We can see how many people clicked on each of the links. We can also click on view, which would show us who it was. Now we already know it was Mark Anderson, so I'm not going to do that to save a little bit of time. Another very, very powerful tool with eMessenger is the ability to overlay those statistics on your campaign. Clicking on this will show you that in a bit more detail. What it does is it brings up a copy of your email showing you the locations of your links, which were here represented by the grey bars, and we can see this one is orange, so that must be the link which was clicked. It's colour coded. Grey means no one has clicked on it. Different colours specify how busy they were. So it gives you a good idea of where the popular links are. For example, if you have a lot of clicks up in this area and not very many down here, this may tell you that this area of your website is not apparent enough. It's not driving people towards that area. So it gives you a good bit of analysis on how to design your next campaign. And that is pretty much how to analyse your campaigns. So we have lots of statistics. We can see who it was sent to, how many were bounced, how many were opened, how many click-throughs were successful. We can do goal tracking. We can see how many people were interested enough to send it on to a friend. We can also see how many people unsubscribed and how many people marked it as spam. We would reckon that anything over a 1% unsubscribe rate means that there is something that's not engaging your subscribers. Now in our case we had a 33% unsubscribe rate, but that is simply down to the low number of people it was sent to. It was sent to 3, so if one person unsubscribes, obviously that increases the percentage. It's a very, very powerful tool in your use of email campaigns.